Hello, welcome back to Distant Worlds 2. We're continuing our Teekan playthrough here, and we are about to get the Super Drive, which is going to be a nice upgrade for our ships. It's been a little while since I've played this game, so I'm kind of reacclimating myself to where we left off. Looks like we just exited a war. We are completing spec here. Our treasury looks pretty healthy overall. I'm a little surprised I'm not making more money than that with the amount of planets we have and all of the terraforming that's been done. Literally everything has been terraformed. So let's give it a little time. Maybe this will move up slowly but surely. Our war weariness is ticking down. That will affect things. So economically for sure. Let's see. Yeah, we must have just ended this war because we're getting a bunch of this stuff figured out now. Let's pop over to characters and look at prisoners. We'll look non-spy. Well, that's actually admiral. Scientist. There we are. Non-spy prisoner. Nautical and patriot. Okay. So we are gonna try to recruit. The more scientists, the merrier. Come on. There we go. We got him. Actually recruit this scientist as well. Alright, so we don't seem to have much else. Yeah, this menu looks shifted by one. Alright. Ambassadors are fine, but I don't need to waste a bunch of time looking at those right now. They're not super critical. Admirals are, I mean, some of these admirals are pretty good. Drunk's not the best, but they definitely have more than enough good traits to compensate for that. Now, I'd really like to be able to filter. Maybe I'll look at lowest skill, because then I could look at who I need to potentially get rid of. Don't want anybody that has the negative trait that reduces over time. Demoralizing, yes. So you need to go. Gonna take a quick gander through here. Tongue-tied, huh? Pretty bad. Another demoralizing. I wish I could set the criteria, like anybody with demoralizing, just dismiss them. Because all they do is make people worse over time. Alright, well, I'm guessing once we start getting into these better ones, we're not going to see a whole heck of a lot of demoralized people. So I'm not gonna click through every single one of these. It'd take forever. Yeah, that's good enough. Chances are we don't have too many other demoralized. Now we did just get the super engine, so we really should revisit our ship designs and update all of them. I don't know if this should be manual or automatic. I have been updating them manually. Yeah, wormhole drive, way faster. Although my guess is way more expensive as well. All right, destroyer, bombard. These are our mass driver guys. We want latest per category and family. We don't really need stations because we're primarily upgrading the engines. So we don't have any destroyers, huh? A lot of cruisers. Keeping an eye on the size, because if I could sneak another weapon or engine or something into that, I would definitely do that. We got a fair amount of fuel tankers. So is Skip Fighter still the best fighter type for me? I'm just looking at the maneuvering. Plus 32 is not the highest anymore. Advanced Interceptor is. Let's see, is there a difference between these two? Engine. This is better from a countermeasure targeting and ship maneuvering perspective. Not too pressed about the engine, so maybe we need to auto-generate the design there. That's interesting. The game just froze when I did that. Okay, this is the Interceptor, so I think we're going to go with Titan blasters. Maybe a phaser cannon and a Titan blaster. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the range. Phase beam array is just worse. I think that'll be fine. All right, let's try to rename it. Advanced Fighter 1. There's 3 recommendations, but I really don't know what else we could possibly do to improve anything. Energy collectors. Yeah, nothing we could do there. Slower, maximum limit of. All right, so we're good. Let's go ahead and save this design. All right, and that replaces our current one, so we can go ahead and obsolete this guy. Go ahead and upgrade the carrier. It's just ever so slightly over. We'll just take that tractor beam off. All right, let's look at the same thing with the bombers. What's our current one? A heavy bomber? Yeah, it looks like that's the best still. I really don't think I need to upgrade it because there's nothing new I'm putting on there. They're not, they don't have jump drives, so it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and upgrade these colony ships to have the better engine. That's fine. Heavy battleship. 1 over and also a little crew capacity. That's quite unfortunate. Let's take off. I swapped this. Not ion hardened armor, but I. Alright, so hex armor is just strictly better. That gets us under the size, but it doesn't solve the crew situation. But unfortunately, we're still going to take something off that uses crew. Maybe we'll take off these 2 small Titan blasters to get it under. Alright, passenger ships, the recommendation was to add more passenger compartments. So let's go ahead and do that. We could fit 1 more, so there's that at least. Wormhole drive is going to help make it faster. I really think that's about all we can do there. So we'll move on to the next thing. Those are all stations. Let's go ahead and upgrade the resort base. I just want to see. It looks like we have a little crew capacity issue. So we already have the massive passenger compartments here. The rec center. Well, let's look at editing it just to see what it currently has. Okay, so it's got large passenger compartments. So upgrading to massive hopefully improves it. Let's take the ion shield off of it. That's probably fairly useless for our situation. You know what? I should also look at the mining stations because I'm guessing those have large cargo bays and we can upgrade them to have massive cargo bays. And that is just strictly better. How is this naming convention always funky? There, we'll just change it to mining-1. I feel like it always struggles with the naming. We're fine on crew capacity. Size, we actually have a little bit of wiggle room, so let's just make sure we're good here. Yeah, we could add 2 more massive cargo bays, which is just going to further increase our storage capacity. All right, this guy looks pretty good. I can't slap a research on here, can I? I don't think so. It's not in the list. All right, well, I really don't know if this upgrade actually changed anything, but we'll go ahead and save it anyway, just in case. Troop transport, this is going to be pretty vital to make sure we have enough here. Wormhole drive is really important. Massive troop compartment. Can we fit another one? No, we're maxed out on that, and we need to pair it with the assault pod, so we'd actually need 2 spaces available, and we do not have it. So I think we're good with the way that is, just upgrading it. Freighter upgrade. So this is going to generate some revenue, but it's also going to use a lot of resources. About all we can do there. Mining ship. I don't think there's going to be enough for another massive cargo bay. Size 25. Yeah, there's just not enough full space for that. So we'll just stick with the upgrade for now. Same here, nothing nothing too crazy. Can't do much. And construction ship's our last one. Go ahead and just do an upgrade. I don't think we need any additional storage bays or anything on this guy. Yeah, we're good there. All right, so all in all, doing all right. Let's go ahead and close out of that. Take a quick look at our resort locations. So there's 2 locations being built. We have a lot of migrants and tourists in transit, which is good. My understanding is you can only build resorts on planets that have scenery, and we have every one of our planets that has a scenery bonus has one, except for those 2. So we're kind of maxed out there. I'm gonna go ahead and unpause. If we look at mining locations, it looks like we have several ready to build. We'll flag another couple just so we have some additional resources. Looks like we're really short on Aculon, so I want to make sure to get as many of those as we can. Generally speaking, when you build in some of these systems or some of these patches, it harvests like a whole asteroid region, so I don't want to like overproduce mines, but we clearly need some Aculon, so let's go ahead and get that started anyway. War awareness continues ticking down. Colony approval rate is going up. All right, there's some cash flow. Got another new colony. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Make sure we're building up what we need to build up. Oh. Well, we get the death ray next. I probably should have waited to upgrade all our ships until I had that, because I'm going to want to retrofit again for that purpose. Where's the super array? Yeah, this is going to be better initially. Ultimately, this will be better once we start parsing through all these upgrades. But it's going to be a while before we actually do that, so. I don't think there's any benefit in doing that. Let's zoom out just a touch here. We have the super torpedo. That does not come in a fighter chassis. It looks like we have to use something bigger and better for that. All right, we got all sorts of stuff queued up here. I think we're good for a little while. Are there any planets that we can colonize? The independent colony. I do not think we have a way to get them happy enough with us to join us. Just because they're always going to have that negative affecting them. All right, let's sort by suitability. We actually have a ton of planets we can colonize. Wow, let's go ahead and expand where we can, because that would be awesome. All right, this is some very positive cash flow going on now. Way better than when we started. What are our spies up to these days? They're just chilling. Counterintelligence. Probably for the best. This guy's got inspiring presence. Oh, what's going on here? Let's pause for a second. Taurus Horde and Beskarian conformity made peace. Okay, that's fine. We got a critical research breakthrough. That's a freebie. That's nice. Didn't have to pay for that. Superior fleet targeting. Maybe we should pay to get that tech. 4.6. That's a fair amount, but we're generating so much money. That's fine. Oh, we actually got a new scientist coming out of that. I'm going to go ahead and pause while I retrofit the ships to add that super death ray. So I'll be back momentarily. All right, and we're back. So I didn't upgrade everyone, but I upgraded a lot of them. So I didn't want to put all our eggs in the basket of those phaser weapons. I wanted to leave some missiles and some other things, but they do so much more damage than the weapons we were doing that I think, you know, it'd be kind of foolish not to. Let's go ahead and look at our spaceports. I'm sure wait time is a little nuts for some of these. Oh yeah, we got a lot of upgrading going on. So now's the time to kind of regroup and figure out what exactly we're going to do. Looking at the victory conditions, we could see they're at 62%. I am getting real close to just going directly to war with them. I think I'm going to make one more pass at the Beskarians before I go to war, just to take over a little more territory, have a little more firm beachhead, and make sure everybody's positioned appropriately. But I have to balance that with the amount of time I have left before they get to 70%, because that's when everything kind of falls apart. So kind of keeping an eye on that for now. We got a lot of recovery going on from the previous war. Energy to fuel converter will be done very soon. That's awesome, because then we don't have to worry about stuff running out of fuel anymore. It's going to be a little tricky to fit those on some of our ships for now, but eventually we'll be fine. All right, we got another medium spaceport up and running. All right, new colony founded. We should be seeing a fair amount of these popping up in relatively short order. Taurus Horde took over from Gazurian. That's great. That reduces the strength of my enemy. Taurus is actually really happy with us. Fierce Guild eliminated. So they finally took out the that pirate group. It's amazing to me they're still around. All right, let's get spies back. Take a look and make sure we don't have any other spies hiding anywhere. before we lose all of them when these pirates get killed. Actually, he's going to be left on counterintelligence. Really not enough tech to justify sending these people anymore. So I'm just not going to bother with it. We're starting to see issues with the research keeping up with the actual ticks. So I'm going to lower the speed. I think I'm just going to play at speed 1 at this point because it's not keeping up with the processing's not keeping up with the ticks. It eventually catches up, but not as real time. Our military strength is slowly increasing as these ships retrofit and start putting on those death rays and stuff. Our invasion fleets look like they're not just retrofitting, but some of them are loading troops and kind of refilling and getting ready for the next war. We have plenty of cash available to us, so we can do pretty much anything we want at this point with cash. I'm going to keep trying to recruit people, since I have plenty of money and I don't really need it for anything else. What was this? Gazurians took over from Kantar. So that's an even exchange. Nobody got the better end of that deal. I want to make sure I'm not accidentally recruiting somebody with a super negative trait. A lot of drunks. I think the last 4 people we recruited had the drunk trait. All right, let's go ahead and force this. 10 mil. I mean, we got the money at this point. So that's a V4 crew system. That'll be nice. This crew, we had to take some weapons off to accommodate the crew on the battleship, so we could potentially redo that. We're gonna have a lot of admirals and stuff after this. I wish there was just a button that says recruit all, and I don't have to like painstakingly click through this. Right, natural leader is just a plus stat. I thought it was something a little better than that. That's okay. I don't see it that often, I don't think. Come on. There we go. Lacks discipline, but that doesn't matter that much. Holy crap, we're still recovering more admirals. Some of these guys are really good. Alright, superior fleet targeting is done. Alright, well, I have recruited a ton of the prisoners. I think we had 130-ish prisoners. Although, looks like we just recovered even more. Yeah, I think we had like 130-ish prisoners and of that type, and we just recruited all of them. Whole bunch. Although I'm gonna let my cash reserves recover just a smidge before I go on another recruiting spree. Definitely want to keep an eye out for scientists in particular. All right, another new colony ship is done. That means another colony is on its way relatively soon. Ooh, this is getting expensive. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, take a look at how fleets are doing, how they're moving. Everything now has those super engines, so as long as we've, yeah, everything's moving like really quick in general. right, new colony founded. Let's go ahead, pop over there. Get that going. I mean, we're starting off with 250K or 250 mil on the planet, just because of the world ships that we're using now. So they're already starting with like pretty massive population. I got a little free research breakthrough there. Take another gander at this. Still 62%, so nothing immediately pressing. I know retrofitting is still going on. We'll have to look at, yeah, we got some troops scooped up. Certainly nowhere near our maximum, but doing better. The 40,000, or yeah, 40,000 science output. That's awesome. Almost half of it's just from the research stations. I feel like we're getting a lot of ice planets in particular. I don't know if that's just because that's what's left over, but we have a lot of ice planets. I guess most of these aren't ice. Still a lot of retrofitting going on. Tons of wait time. They all seem to want to retrofit at the same place. My guess is that that was the closest system to where all of our fleets were at the moment. How are these mining locations coming along? Looks like we got most of them. There's only a couple construction ships left that are still trying to build anything. Nothing worth getting, it doesn't look like. They were definitely at a detriment overall. We have a decent amount in stockpile, but we're just using more than we're making. Look at all this fuel we have a shortage of. So much fuel needed. I wonder, like, fuel generators will probably fix a lot of that, I would imagine. So actually, I wonder if I retrofit the civilian ships, because they should have a decent amount of leftover capacity. Huh. Go to all components and just see if I can... Energy to fuel converter, yeah. Problem is it's size 40. That would be a decent amount. We have room on some of these, though. I think that's more important, because if these things are getting attacked where they need ion protection, they're getting destroyed anyway, so there's no point in that being on there. Much rather have the energy to fuel converters. Need to eke out a little bit more space here. I just take the weapon off of it. Again, doesn't really matter. Now I'm guessing we don't really need that many fuel cells if we have an energy to fuel converter. Theoretically, that should solve any sort of fuel issues. Yeah, you don't need repair bots. You're a mining ship. Yeah, we're good. The passenger ship's the only one I didn't do anything with. Commerce Center V4, we should see an increase in our commerce as a result of that. Looks like we can afford way more fleets than we currently have. I don't think this matters, really. Just because we're in such excess on everything. All right, another new colony. Let's go ahead and pop over there. All right, reality replacement. Let's go ahead and accelerate that one. We actually went down a little in cash reserves. I mean, we're fine, but shockingly went down. Private sector's balling, man. They got a ton of money. Billion. Private fuel. That's probably going to drop quite a bit, actually. Because if all those ships are able to generate their own fuel from energy, I wonder if that'll also reduce our fuel need in the mining area here. Once they all actually retrofit. It looks like we still got a fair amount of retrofit going on over here. All right, we're going to accelerate this superior command tech. Way everything is progressing rather rapidly. I have been doing a little more recruiting. I've sorted to highest skill level, and I'm just poaching the most valuable people in general. Figure that's probably the best way to do it. I don't want to go too crazy here. There's 146 prisoners, still a lot of prisoners to go. I got to make sure I have enough cash on hand to crash research. And that if I have to negotiate a treaty in a little bit, I want to make sure that I have enough money. We look at where we're at and compare to the Gazurians, which are the kind of the big enemy of the game. We have 295 colonies. They have 274, so we have more. Population-wise, we have more than them. Revenue-wise, don't know for sure. Research-wise, definitely. Military strength, that's known military strength. They may have more than this, and likely do. That's just what I am aware of. So overall, I think we have the slight edge over them, even though they're closer to victory than we are. So I really have to start tearing them down relatively soon. But I'm going to take another chunk out of the Beskarians. And then I'll push a little more towards the Gazuri. Are the Kantars still at war with them? They are. They're pleased with them. They're at war, but they're pleased with them. That's interesting. These guys are at war with the Gazuri. I don't want them getting wiped out because they're my ticket to getting the Beskarians. All right, Advanced Medical Center. We got that done. Superior attack shuttles. That's gonna scale us up pretty decently. We have a lot of attack shuttles. Kind of itching to go to war here. Our military strength has been dropping, which is a little weird, but I am guessing there's a lot of stuff retrofitting and getting built right now, so I will give it time before I judge that, because we were at 32 mil and now we're at 28. Invasion fleet wise, our troops are starting to top up nicely. Still have probably half our fleets at less than 20% capacity, but at least 4 or 5 fleets are close to maximum, so we gotta wait a little longer anyway for these construction yards to finish. But once they're done, we'll be in pretty good shape. Oh, what's going on here? This will build a medium spaceport. Maybe that'll help move this along. You sure do pick odd bases to retrofit. I do think it's likely we're going to be invading this space, so I should probably make the home planets for the invasion fleets somewhere over in this general area. All right, we just spent pretty much the rest of our money retrofitting and rushing assault bombers. So hopefully we'll be able to claw back some of that money at some point. All right, I think I'm going to call it an episode there. If we take a look real quick, we could see retrofitting is definitely still taking place, but it's about halfway done compared to where it was earlier when I was looking. I'd say overall, we're making a fair amount of progress. Still a lot of state ships to retrofit. And then I do want to get to war sooner than later. Our military ship strength power is actually dropping. Kind of crazy, but I firmly believe that's because a lot of these big ships are still retrofitting. If we look at the victory condition, we could see that Gazurians are at 61. We're at 46. Hopefully, relatively soon, we will be able to war and move towards attacking the Gazurians, although we're not quite there yet. I'm going to do one more war against the Biscarans, try to take over as much of this territory as possible so that we're right up against the Gazurians, and then I'm going to loop around and try to just start chunking away at this little bit here, and then maybe try to go for a quick, like, blitzkrieg style, take over all this stuff, and then try to get to peace as soon as possible before all these fleets start coming after me, because right now they're positioned to defend against these guys, so the Kentaurus horde. So I want to take advantage of them being distracted down here, probably stuck in like gravity wells and all tied up, and they look to be nearly completely undefended up here. So if I take over this and then position all my stuff over here, should be pretty easy to swoop in here and take over as much of that as possible. So hoping to start that in the next episode. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to see more content in the future, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.